I'm going to show you how to sign up for Medicare, so stay tuned. I'm Keith Armbrecht, founder of Medicare on Video. I hope you'll find the information in this video very helpful and presented in an easy to understand format. Turning Medicare eligible is actually a very good thing. You'll likely find Medicare to be a much better alternative for your health insurance needs than what you may have had previously. But there are some choices. So I've created a Medicare Resource Center where I have a complete video library on everything Medicare. You'll also find all the necessary links and the guides and the forms that go along with them. So after this video, take just a few minutes to explore our Resource Center. I'm sure you'll find everything that you need for Medicare. You can also get an immediate quote for your Medicare supplement insurance. Just fill in your basic information and it'll bring up the rates for the plans that are available in your area. It would also be a great idea to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you'll always have access to my videos and you'll get updates as they come along. So again, I hope you find this information very helpful, and please let me know if I can help. So let's talk about signing up for Medicare, and certainly something that we're all going to face at some point in time where we reach that time where we need to go into Medicare, and we need to understand how to go into Medicare and to certainly make the right choices, because it's a pretty big deal and we want to make sure that we get it right going in. So what I'm going to talk about right now is first steps. So when you want to sign up for Medicare, when I talk about Medicare, we're talking about Part A and Part B. That is the base of Medicare, the foundation. That's the first part you need to do. And then once you've done that, you will have some other decisions to make, like, do you go into a Medicare Advantage plan? Do you get a Medicare supplement plan? Do you get a drug plan? Things of that nature. And I've got videos on all of that, but right now we're going to talk simply about signing up for Medicare, because it's definitely the first hurdle that you're going to face, and it's more complicated than it should be. So I'll show you exactly how to get there. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you may come into Medicare. And the first way is the most popular way, is you're turning 65. So if you're turning 65 and you're ready to go into Medicare, then you're going to need to sign up for Part A and Part B. Now, the other way to come in is coming off of your group plan. So a lot of times people work past age 65 and they don't go into Medicare until they're ready to retire and come off of their group plan. So keep that in mind. It's very important to understand, if you work past age 65, there's a couple things you don't want to do, and it acts exactly as if you are turning 65 when you come off your credible coverage at work and go into Medicare. I just had a nice lady who was 84 years old. She was working until she was 84 years old on her plan at work, and now she's coming off, she's retiring, and she's going into Medicare, and it's exactly like she's turning age 65. So there's a lot of open windows. You can pick whatever you want and they can't say no. So keep that in mind. So something I want to caution those of you that do work past age 65 and you'll come into Medicare later, the one thing you do not want to do is have your Medicare Part B start when you turn 65. So you just want to make sure that it doesn't start until you are ready to come into Medicare, because that's one of your triggers. That's what gives you an open window to pick whatever plan you want inside of Medicare without having to go through medical underwriting. So I'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So back up to turning 65. Let's talk about turning 65. Now, there's a couple different things that can happen. Is if you are already drawing Social Security, what's going to happen is you're going to get a card from Social Security that says, when you turn 65, we're going to start your Medicare Part B, unless you tell us not to. So usually, if you're already drawing Social Security, you're generally not still working. So therefore, you're probably ready to turn and start into Medicare at age 65. Now, something else that confuses folks is Part A. Part A is automatic, so there's nothing you need to do about Part A. Part A is going to start when you turn 65, regardless. Doesn't make any difference whether you're still working, not working. Part A is automatic. Don't worry about Part A. It's Part B that you have to manage. So Part B is an election, and there's also a cost to Part B. Right now it's $134 a month for Part B. And I've got some videos that explain Part A and explain Part B. So if you want to take a look at those, please feel free to do so. But Part B is the one that we have to kind of manage. So we don't want Part B to start until we are ready to come into Medicare, whether it's at age 65 or whether it's at age whatever it may be when you are retiring and coming off your group plan. So let's get into where to go to sign up for Medicare, and where would we likely think to go to sign up for Medicare? Medicare.gov. First major confusion part for everybody. No, you don't go to Medicare to sign up for Medicare. So kind of crazy. We do not want to go to Medicare.gov to sign up for Medicare. So where do we go? Pretty odd, but we go to Social Security. So Social Security is where you sign up for Medicare. Makes a lot of sense, right? Absolutely. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it with Social Security. You can either do it by calling them at the number that I have here. This is the number for Social Security, and they can walk you through it. Now, what I can tell you is if you call them, you're probably going to have a wait, usually 20 minutes, half an hour on the phone on hold before you actually get through to somebody, or you can do it right online. So if you want to do it online, you do it on Social Security's site, and I made a URL that makes it easy for you to find where you need to go, and that URL is www.startpartb.com. And where startpartb.com will take you is right here to the page in Social Security where you sign up for your Medicare Part B. So pretty easy to do. It's kind of just walking through mostly personal information. So you start right here on the you can apply. So you're going to use their Social Security Retirement Medicare Benefit Application. Sounds complicated, but it's not. It's really starting Medicare Part B. I'm not sure why they don't say Start Part B right here, but they don't. So it's going to take you into the application. You simply go to here, you start a new application, you put in your name, your Social Security, information like that, and it'll walk you right through. It's pretty easy for the most part if you are doing it when you're supposed to be doing it. So if you're turning 65, you need to be doing it before you turn 65. So you have a 3-month window before you turn 65. That's when you need to do it. If you wait until after you've already turned 65, significantly more complicated. There's some waiting periods. If you miss it in the 3 months after 65, then you're going to have to go into a special enrollment period where you can only do it during January, and then you only become effective on July 1st. You don't want that if you are needing to go into Medicare. So simply, if you're turning 65, you're ready to go into Medicare, or you're retiring from work, you're coming off your group plan, you're going into Medicare, simply go to startpartb.com, brings you right here to the Medicare page and gets you exactly where you need to go. So that's about as easy as it can get for starting the process. And again, this is just the foundation. Part A, automatic. Part B, we have to initiate on Social Security's website or by calling Social Security. Now, I can tell you also, if you're coming off your group plan at work, Social Security is going to want to have proof of credible coverage. So they're going to want proof from your employer or your previous health plan that you have had credible coverage before coming into Part B, or you'll have a penalty on your Part B. So make sure you can do that ahead of time. And most HR departments are pretty helpful. The insurance company might be helpful. Most of them know exactly what that is. So you need proof of credible coverage. And also, it's been my experience when you're doing it in that fashion, you know, if you're after 65 and you're coming off work, Social Security may very well want you to come in person. So they're going to want you to set up an appointment and come down to Social Security, give them that credible coverage proof, and then sign up for your Part B there. Keep in mind, those appointments can be 2 weeks out, can be a month out, depends on how busy they are. So if you wait until the last minute to do it, it's going to complicate everything else for you. And then once you have your Part A and your Part B together, and you know when your date is that you're going to start, then we can figure out all your other pieces. So we can figure out, Medicare Advantage plan or Medicare Supplement plan. Big difference between those two. So you want to understand that, make sure you watch some of my videos. I'll explain it to you on how to do that. I obviously make my living helping people with their Medicare supplement plans, so I would certainly appreciate it if you'd allow me to help you. And what I can promise is that we will get it right. We will do whatever is in your best interest, and we'll get it right from the start so that we don't have any surprises down the road. So that's the last thing that we need, is to start it now and then have some surprises down the road and make sure that we don't have anything that we didn't do the right way to start with. So it's very important to get it right at the beginning, and then things will likely just be steady for you for the long haul. And that's certainly my goal, is to just keep you in the same place for the long haul and have you really never think about health insurance again. Just have it do exactly what it's supposed to do. So I hope you found this information helpful, and certainly subscribe to my channel. You'll always get updates on what I do. If you can, leave a comment at the bottom and we can learn from each other on our different scenarios. So I hope you found that helpful, and please let me know if I can help.